there anyone you like?
No, I really would like to hear debates, but unfortunately, because the media goes along with the two-party system, no one else is allowed in the debates except two choices. See, I would prefer to hear about 5 people so that I can make a better educated decision over who I feel would be best to run my country.
You know that the debates are not run by the media. The debates are organized by the two parties.
Oh, you're not educating me on that.
Would you like to see the League of Women Voters run the debates as they used to 20, 30 years ago?
No, it wasn't even that long ago. It was when Perot scared the hell out of them. Are you familiar with the history of the debates? 92, Perot got 1 out of 5 votes, so they had to stop that. Up until that time, all debates were conducted by the League of Women Voters. Well, our government then took the debates from the League of Women Voters, and they created another federal bureaucracy called the Federal Debate Commission, which ironically is headed by the former heads of the Democratic and Republican parties, which gives them a rubber stamp. Now, Perot ran in 92 and got 1 out of 5 votes. He also qualified for millions of our tax dollars, and yet, in 96, 2 people cut a deal, Bill Clinton and Bob Dole, to eliminate Perot. They took it to the Federal Debate Commission, and that was agreed to. Perot could now not debate. And part of the deal was Clinton got to say how many debates there'd be and when they'd be. Well, in 96, I don't expect you to remember this, but in 96, the presidential debates were cut from 3 to 2, and they were held on the same night as the World Series by design.
Mr. Ventura, do you think that you're asking questions and other people asking questions will ever compel the government to answer questions? Do you expect this will ultimately be successful?
Well, I really don't know, but I do know that I will continue to ask questions, and if the government continues to not answer the questions, I can only assume at that point they must be hiding something. Because if the government was forthright with all of us, I wouldn't be here today asking any questions, would I?
Are you at the point now where you believe the government is hiding something?
I'm at the point now where I don't believe what the government's told me, that buildings can fall at the rate of gravity without being assisted.
Well, the government hit the USS Liberty.com on June the 8th, 1967.
The government what?
A naval vessel that was attacked on...
It was attacked by the Israelis.
Yeah, the government covered that up for the longest time. So there are questions that need to be answered.
They covered up the fact also of the Gulf of Tonkin incident. I mean, they've now admitted that never happened in Vietnam. So my point is this, people, and I guess I've lost mainstream there. My point is this. My government has no credibility with me anymore. They've lied to me so many times. Why would I believe them?
Why are you here today, sir? Here.
I was invited by an Arizona senator to come down and participate, so I'm here.
Thank you.
I can't tell you the courage that this woman has to be an elected official and to be questioning our government. There's a woman with courage.
Darren Johnson.
There's a woman who's doing her job. Who's doing her job as an elected official. It's not go along to get along.
She gave evidence to the legislature about what
Well, I guess the media found out why they don't like them very much.
He outlasted the media, Jesse, right?
Oh, I always do.
He had the shame. He had an unfair advantage.
Oh, I'm fine.
You have more than earned it.
Well, I just wish that I didn't have to do you all's jobs.
Yeah.
You know, you should be asking the questions, not me. You know, but I guess your bosses probably won't let you, will they? I bet you if you went out to your boss and said, you know what, I want to get into this 9/11 stuff and find out what really went on, I bet your bosses would pull your plug real quick. Huh? What brought them down? And when you look at the photos of those core beams, they're all cut perfectly inward. Well, you do that with a shape charge. And you cut them inward so it'll implode inward. Now, another question for you.
I've got one for you.
Wait, why are they finding bones on other buildings today, human remains? Because of an explosion. It's simple. If the building fell like they said, there would be no remains on top of other bone fragments and all that on other buildings scattered around there.
When the plane would have blown them out at least on those few levels.
What's that?
When the plane have blown them out at least on those few levels.
Well, the interesting thing is too, they say the plane fuel caused it. Well, the plane fuel all blew up when the plane hit. You saw this huge explosion. There went all the plane fuel. So in other words, the carpet, the desks and that burned hot enough to drop I-beam construction steel. Go talk to a guy that builds skyscrapers. He'll tell you that's total bull.
You mentioned that to be insulated with the fire retardant also.
Yeah. Did you know also that the World Trade buildings in New York and Gould, they had $1 billion renovation bill. They had to pull out all the asbestos. Well, what would be easier, bring them down or do that?
A lot of people died that day, and their deaths are viewed now. If there was government involvement, there was demolition, there was it would change all of this. These people would just be dead as everything. Families.
Do I worry about it?
Yeah.
What, the truth? Excuse me, I thought there was a quote, the truth will set you free. Now, if you're going to attack me for bringing it up, if to bringing it up again, I counter by saying, why are a great majority of the victims' relatives demanding a new investigation? Clearly, they want to know the truth. And clearly, they're not believing what they're being told. Otherwise, why would they want a new investigation? I ask you this, as a former chief executive, if a tragedy like that occurred in Minnesota, I would immediately order an investigation, just as our governor did immediately when the bridge fell in the river. Why did George Bush stonewall any investigation for 2 years? And it only took the victims' families putting pressure on them, political pressure, that there was even the 9/11 Commission in the first place. You don't find that peculiar? I didn't ask you to answer me. You don't find that peculiar?
I do.
Good. All I'm doing is asking basic questions and do you know why I ask questions? No. When I went through UDT training, the second phase was land warfare and demolition, and I had an instructor that pounded into my head beyond belief, I was only 19 years old, that there is no dumb question, especially when you're working with explosives. If you don't know it, ask it, because you're not only put yourself in danger, you will blow up your teammates with you if you don't understand. So I've lived my life under the premise that there is no dumb question. If I don't understand it, it's not dumb to me. Questions that I think America should be asking today, first and foremost, is why hasn't Bin Laden been charged for 9/11? I don't know. You're asking me to speculate on the Department of Justice. I've never worked in the Department of Justice. Why on Bin Laden on the FBI website, when you bring up the top 10 international terrorists, Bin Laden's on there, and again, they have it written down that he attacked our embassy in '98 and all of that, but yet the FBI doesn't include 9/11, the largest terrorist attack in history. And when pressed, you know what the FBI's response was? We don't have enough evidence. Now, you don't find that a bit concerning? I don't know. You're asking me to speculate. Well, then I'll ask you, what do you think happened? Not a long time. I don't know. I just don't believe I'm not saying the terrorists didn't do it, but I'm also not saying that our government wasn't complacent in allowing them, knowing whatever the word is. Why were no jets stranded? You got 4 hijacked planes in a 4-hour window, and not one jet was up in the air. They do it every day. Every day jets are scrambled. Every day. And on that day, none of them.